Based on these tweets that I just put up, all these immigrant tweets. This has been, understand, you go through Kamala Harris's page, you go through her Twitter, you go through her website, you go through her Senate. What you see is that her claim to fame. What you see is that her claim to fame has been immigration. I stand for the dreamers. I stand for undocumented. I stand for asylum. I stand for all of that. When she wants to run for president, that's what she's been saying this whole time. She wants to run for president on MLK, during MLK week, and associate herself with Martin Luther King Jr. But her claim to fame, since she's gotten in the Senate, her claim to fame in California was being top cop. But since she's gotten to the Senate, her claim to fame has been immigration. What I'm telling you is that you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. What you do get to do, though, you get to do this. You get to go to the border and announce your candidacy there. You get to go to the border with the immigrants and the undocumented and the refugees and tell them you're going to stand for them and you're going to announce your candidacy there. You do not get to co-opt Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, Miss Canadian, Indian, whatever. You do not get to do that. Especially when you have done nothing, Kamala Harris, in your life to consistently mount a sustained effort on behalf of American DOS. You are trying to stand up for a man. This man that you trying to announce your candidacy during the week of, he took a bullet for American DOS. He took a bullet that ended his life. You have done nothing. You have done nothing to earn anything from us. And you cannot co-opt the legacy of MLK. What the best you can do is come to us with a set of policies and say, listen, I'm Canadian, Indian, and all this other stuff, and I ain't never really, me and my daddy ain't get along, or whatever your little story is that you hiding. And you can come to us with that, and you can tell us what your agenda is, and we can have a conversation. But you have no right. What did I say last show that we're going to have to start saying? By what right? By what right, Kamala, do you think you get to announce? By what right, Kamala, do you think, I see all these reports that you get to announce your presidential run at MLK Day? By what right? You have not mounted anything for us sustained. You do a little, well, we're going to have tampons in the prison. And women's prison is just what they is. You're just doing garbage. And you think we're not going, well, she is doing something for a little thing for the women's prisons so that they don't have, they don't have tampons. They don't have no tampons. No, Kamala, that's not it. Our oppression is across the board. It is systemic. And you don't know anything about it because you grew up Canadian and you came over here to go to Howard to wash yourself of all of that. And you knew you was running for office when you went there, just like I thought I was when I went there. You don't go to Howard and major in political science and not have that as an agenda. I don't know who you think you playing with, but it ain't me. Let me go and see 310. What's going on, 310?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, ToneTalks?
So, really appreciate you stepping out and jumping ahead of this. I hope that a lot of people can share this with their family, with their friends, because I want to start this off before getting to Kamala about us as American DOS and what's going on. It took me some time to actually get to the point where I can actually have this kind of assessment for you guys. But I've always asked for solutions. But the solutions I have are a lot more nuanced than just like you starting a business or something like that. It's really you understanding why you've been conned. And one of the things I think that's happened for DOS, American DOS, is we don't speak our individual tragedies into truth. We don't speak our individual tragedies that come from slavery and Jim Crow into truth. So what do I mean? So like I've been trying to tell y'all that I don't know either grandpa. That my parents had me at 16. I don't know either grandpa. That's directly because of slavery and Jim Crow. It's directly tied to it. This woman here doesn't have any of that cost. The reason why I can tell y'all that is I saw it coming at UCLA. I've been seeing this coming, this locomotive coming. She has no right to be here in our space. She has a right to be in America, but she doesn't have a right to be in our space, in our claimed space that comes from the blood, sweat, equity of having the cost of American DOS immediately upon you. But you know why she hearing that? Because none of y'all is telling her that you don't have your grandfathers either. Or whatever cost you got that comes from slavery, you don't tell that to the woman you just met on a date. You don't tell that to your mama or to your daddy or to work. You let everybody treat you like you came from white power and white wealth. Come on. So what I'm seeing is here, this woman before you was born 1 year after my mother. My mother didn't know her father. At least not well at all. This woman here had an Indian mama. My grandmother graduated from high school. That's it. She had an Indian mama that was a scientist. 1 year after my mama. My mama was raised in Brooksville, Mississippi, buried in Brooksville, Mississippi right now. This woman here was raised in Canada. Had an Indian mama that's a scientist and a daddy that's Jamaican that's an economist in the 60s. The awfulness for her to be a representation of us in our lives, I don't think you guys understand, because I carry the Bible of America, and she's trying to sit upon the cost of that and the empathy of that to advance her own career, which is empty. What do I mean? I'm going to talk to you in a second about what I mean by empty. Along the way, she hasn't accomplished nothing. She hasn't accomplished nothing as the San Francisco DA, really. She didn't accomplish nothing really as the Attorney General. She didn't really accomplish nothing as a senator. The only way she gets to the presidency is by saying, I'm just like Obama and civil rights, and we overcome, and America don't need to deal with black people. Because that's what she represents, that you don't have to deal with black people because they already got something. They already achieved because of her. But she's not American DOS. I am. But I can't become president because I don't know my grandfather, which would be her father's age. My grandfather wasn't an economist, and I didn't have all those advantages. We need to speak our truths, because this isn't just about a past tense, slavery, and Jim Crow. This is about a current reality of why your life is so hard and why her life is so easy.
Ooh.
So, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. For those people that are in boundaries, states that are on the outside of America, you know Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and Haitians a lot better than the people down south. Not saying y'all don't either, but let's tell y'all how it goes. For those people that have them intimately in their space. When we're at home, here in America, they do not call themselves African American. Anybody can call in after and refute this or support it. You welcome to have your own view. They say those black Americans, a lot of critical evaluations of us. They say those African Americans, they either call themselves full-on Nigerian American or Haitian American, or they even go as far as just to say I'm Nigerian. That's it. I'm just Nigerian. I'm not even American. Understand the audacity to move from that to actually claiming African American because there's a scholarship for black people that have been here, like myself, who don't know my grandfather, while your father went to Stanford and taught at Stanford. Come on. How we get here? Understand that I'm not guessing. We asked y'all in the chat, Unique was that we just call ourselves Nigerian. Sue Sanchez said we just call ourselves Jamaican. This is the chat earlier in the events. You can go back up. Baptiste said we just call ourselves Haitian. People didn't even say American after the names. But then when it's time to apply for some shit, excuse my language, you African American. I told y'all this was created, this category, for black Americans, for African Americans, the progeny of the lost slave, not for you. So this woman, who's really Indian, what she is Indian, Canadian, Jamaican, American, in that order. This woman, who was raised Indian, and through a backdoor of genetics can kind of say she's Jamaican, is able to use that to claim that she's African American. This is awful. This is awful for people like me who actually could represent y'all interests, because you're giving your support to somebody who don't care about you. And I'm telling you, she don't care about you for her own policy of what she's saying. Look at my Twitch, look at my thread, look at Yvette's thread, and then look at her thread and ask yourself, who cares about you more? See, I love you. I don't know what she does. Understand, we can go all the way back to Willie Brown. Let's talk about it. There's claims, substantiated somewhat claims, that she dated a 67-year-old man that was married in a DOS marriage. That's how she got her first access into political campaign and everything else. Now, you can go research that, review that, but it sounds like she's a careerist. You go from Willie Brown to this white man. And this Jewish man. I don't have no problem with Jewish people, but at the end of the day, this is like a business relationship. Understand that you're dealing with a possible careerist here that constantly is just looking for ways to get something from something. We ain't got much to give, but we can get you in that doorway. Ask Obama. Ask Obama. And I think for a lot of us, we can't understand that we can't get to reparations if we allow this to stand.
Yeah.
You know, y'all ask what's the solution. Y'all gotta go fix the cups with her. I mean, like, not just like you go quiet in the room when people bring her up. If your mama, if your auntie, if your friends bring her up, you need to get loud that she Indian. Not kind of Indian, she's Indian. And there's nothing wrong with Indian people, but she need to go and use them to try to get to the White House. I don't know a path for Indians to get to the White House without becoming Republican, which is her career kind of sets up for it. But she can't do this thing where she's going to be allowed, because she went to Howard for a few years, to all of a sudden become African-American as Antonio, who has all this broken cost. Now, people out there, are going to say, well, I come from Jamaica, or I come from Haiti, and I have broken family lines too. No, they created my cost. America did. They didn't create yours. There's a difference. America created mine that owes me debt. Yours was created by Haitians, by the French, or whoever was there. And I'm not discounting that, but it's not here on these lands. I'm just dealing with this. And the last thing we still didn't deal with is, because we don't understand citizenship, there's a whole question of her naturalization, of her right to run for presidency beyond the birth certificate. She's born here. But like the founding fathers wanted to see you as a natural born citizen, because what they wanted to see essentially was that your loyalty lied with America. You didn't have split loyalty. We as African Americans, Yvette covered this in a recent show, pretty much my whole loyalty with America, like if I were to run for president. Hers, you don't know where it lies. Is it Canada? Is it Jamaica? Is it India? That's not we're not a global country. And I don't think we understand what doorway this opens. And that's what I'll leave on. I just hope that y'all can understand. This is the discussion that needs to happen. I commend Yvette Carnell for having this discussion. Shout out to Breaking Brown. But at the end of the day, this woman is not African American. She's something, but she ain't African American. Sorry.
Thanks, Tone, as always, for calling in, giving us your opinion. I appreciate it.